scriptures, Hebrew sisters,
Princess warriors of the Most High.
I'm gonna uplift my sister.
Shalom, sisters. All praises to the Most High. Most High willing, everybody doing well through the Spirit. Today I'll be talking about, are you fully submitted to the will that the Most High has for your life? I'll be listening to Monastery Radio in the background, so if y'all want to subscribe to that, you sure can. Go over and support that platform, BAHASHAM. So Cant, let's get into it. Have you fully submitted to the will that the Most High has for you in your life? And what I mean by that is, are you accepting of what the Most High has presented to you, that, you know, this is what it's supposed to be for you? You know, because sometimes we question things, sometimes we think, oh, things are supposed to be going like X, Y, and Z. And it's actually a really beautiful, humbling question. All week I've been pulling precepts out of my precept jar. It's been about self-examination. And then today I just was hit with, are you or have you fully submitted to the will that the Most High has for your life? But, you know, a couple questions that came across my mind after that, you know, the broad and the main question is like, are you still thinking and pondering on things that you think that you should have done, could have done differently, and things like that? Like, have you actually learned your lesson from certain things, or are you continuing in wallowing in what could have, should have been? And that reminded me of, you know, like looking back and Lot's wife. And, you know, we all know the account of what happened to Lot's wife as she looked back as they were leaving Sodom. And I'm gonna pull it really quick, just so if sisters aren't familiar with it, that, you know, you have that. So we're gonna go to Genesis chapter 19, and I'm gonna just get right to the point. This is Genesis 19 and 24. It says, then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the city, and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. So it kind of shows us, like, you know, you can't look back and be running forward. You know, she wasn't content with the plans that the Lord, you know, was having for them in that moment. It's kind of, you know, looking back and thinking that you're missing out on things, and looking back and feeling like, oh my goodness, look what I'm leaving behind. And sometimes, you know, we might have that point of view, we might have that outlook on, you know, our lives and where we are in this very moment, of thinking like, you know, dang, look at everything that, you know, I might have left behind, or look at all the things that, you know, I'll no longer have, you know, and we aren't content with the things that we have right now. You know, we have to be okay, and we have to have a sense of peace that, you know, it's a reason why the Most High allowed us to move on from whatever it may be, whether it's a job, whether it's, you know, something that you might have been doing previously, anything, you know, even congregational wise, or you know, just anything. Sometimes I don't have like specific examples, but most High willing sisters, you know, kind of understand what I'm saying through the Spirit. You kind of feel like you out of sorts, and like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be in life, or, you know, you're just looking around and you're just seeing, you know, the goals that you might have set out for yourself, and you haven't accomplished those goals just yet. And it's not saying that you haven't taken the steps to, start doing some of those things, but sometimes we think that things are supposed to happen faster than what they're supposed to happen. And most High willing, so far I'm making sense. I'm really flowing through the spirit with this one, y'all. So please bear with me and, continue to just, follow along. The next question that I had was, are you really thankful for what you have now? And are you making the most of it? Because I know a lot of the times it's like, we can think about, what we don't have or what we should have. And, are we okay with what we do have now? It could be worse. There are people in situations that are a little bit worse than ours. And we have to be okay with, the Most High's will, that this is what we have for right now. We have to, make the most of it, and eliminate that murmuring or complaining spirit, or the spirit where it's like you're always seeking for more. It's like you're never satisfied. You know what I mean? Like nothing pleases you, nothing satisfies you, nothing is ever okay for you, because it's always something. And that's just kind of a spirit that we don't want to have. That reminds me of Philippians. Salaki, y'all. Philippians chapter 4. It says, not that I speak in respect of one, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more or seeing better for yourself, but when you're constantly in a state like, you're always looking for something more, it's just like, I would say it's kind of disrespectful to the Most High, because it's never a moment where you're just like, all praise to the Most High, and saying thank you to the Lord. It's nothing wrong with taking some time out of your day just to pray to the Most High and just say thank you, not ask for anything. When you wake up, thank you for the movement in my body. Thank you for the movement, in my hands and my toes. And, sometimes we wait till we get sick, or we wait till we don't feel good to be like, oh my goodness, I'm so thankful that I was healthy and feeling good. Or, you should be thankful you can communicate with people. Is people out here that can't effectively communicate how they want to, or get that point across, or, it's just so much other things that it could be worse, that you should be okay with the will that the Most High has for your life in this very moment. And, and even future tense. And that made me think about, it goes into faith. So then it makes you question, like, where is your faith? Where is your faith? And that's something, like I said, these are all questions that's just in my mind as that main question had popped up. Where is your faith? And when I started thinking about that, it made me think about the account when Peter was walking on the water to YAHAWASHI. So it is Matthew chapter 14. And I'm gonna start at 28. It says, and Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto the water. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to YAHAWASHI. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Yahawashi stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? So it's just like, when we start to be weary, when we start to be afraid and given into those spirits, it said he began to sink. So then that's like you kind of getting off course. You know, you're not in alignment with the Lord. You kind of looking at everything else. Your focus is not where it should be. Your focus should be on the Lord. And that's how it's easy to have that sense of peace of the will of the Most High for your life. When we start looking here, we start looking there, we start, no, you got to look straight ahead and keep your eyes single, keep your eye on the Lord. You start looking at what others are doing. You start looking at, what could have been, what should have been. You're looking in the rearview mirror and, of life. And, the analogy that a lot of people use is you can't look in the rearview mirror and drive forward. The same thing like how Lot's wife, she couldn't look back and run forward. She looked back and it was destroyed. And so the same thing with us through the Spirit. It's like when our focus is off and we're not in alignment with the will of the Lord because we're focusing on too many other outside distractions. And we have to kind of eliminate those distractions and, just be okay with focusing on the Most High. Another question that had popped in my mind was like, are you running away? When it's something that the Lord has called you to do, like, are you running away from it? And, this take kind of had me thinking about, like, using our gifts or just feeling like you might not be worthy of what the Most High called you to do. And it makes it harder on us when we run away from what the Lord is trying to have us do. And, that ain't nothing but Satan trying to get you not to do the will of the Lord. And you can't think those things strange because Satan is supposed to do his job. These things are expected. We're not supposed to think these things strange. We're supposed to not be fooled by Satan's devices. Like, we already know this, when it comes in, to having doubt or fear or, oh, I don't know, or, listen, you don't have to know. You just go ahead and start, and the Most High is going to fill in the pieces and everything else, and things are going to fall in line. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, ever since, was that April, May, around that time, I didn't know how a lot of things in my life were going to come together or come to pass, and I just really had to trust. I had to trust in the will for whatever the Lord is going to take me through, or whatever. This is what He has for me right now. And I will not lie, y'all. It hasn't been easy, but it's well been worth it. And the Lord has really been aligning things so much that it seemed a little bit scary. Like, hold up, that's a little bit scary, but it's peaceful at the same time. And I know that probably sounds crazy, but it's peaceful. It's reassuring. It establishes, like, oh my goodness, I'm so thankful that I did trust the Most High and I wasn't weary and I didn't get faint and I didn't give up and I didn't give into my mind, and I overcame the mental battle and things like that, because when we run away from things, we are going to be faced with those things again. So it reminded me of the story of Jonah. And if sisters haven't read the story of Jonah, it's a very beautiful account. I would definitely say and recommend that sisters go read that account. Oh, and y'all know what else that made me think about? When Moses was, talking back and forth with the Lord, he's just like me? You want me to go speak to these people? Like, do you know these people? So, and the Lord is just like, who do you think created it? Like, I know who you're going up against. I know who you're talking to. I said that you're going to be the mouthpiece, and that's what you're going to do. So you have to be okay with it. Your brother is there to help you, and you're going to lead your people. So it kind of made me think of that. The Most High has designed each and every one of us. So whatever our office is, whatever we're supposed to be doing, He set it up perfectly. Whereas though it might not be easy, but that is what you're supposed to be doing. And this is Exodus chapter 4 and 10. It says, "And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. And the Lord said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say." So yeah, the Most High, He got your back. He ain't put you there and you're not equipped. It may feel like you're not equipped, but the Lord, He sees and He knows, differently than what we see and what we know. So you're going to be okay. Trust in the will of the Most High for you, your household, your life, all of these things. Don't fret, don't be afraid. Continuously trust in Him, and you'll have that peace. And I was just thinking, like, the Most High, He actually, He understands and knows how we feel, so you can't hide it. You can't hide it and fake and be like, oh yeah, I accept the will of the Lord. I accept, the will of the Most High for my life. And you actually don't. You actually are still questioning things. You're actually still, thinking beyond your strength. And that's in Sirach. I think that's chapter 3, I believe. Okay, that's 3 and 21 in Sirach. "Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength, but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment." So it's like, when you start meddling in things that you're not supposed to know about, or you continuously questioning the will of the Lord or whatever He has for you, it's like you start getting into things that it could get a little sticky. And it's just like, just focus on those basic things. Just focus on you healing, taking care of your household, growing through the Spirit, study to show yourself approved. Just growing to be a beautiful example and being a light for sisters that are younger than you, sisters that don't know who they are, and even sisters that may be older than you. Because everywhere you go, you're a daughter of Zion. You definitely are set apart and make a difference wherever you go. So don't think that, oh, I don't know why I'm here in life, or I don't know why, I'm doing this or whatever, because sometimes, you can get in that space where you feel like that. But, just when it comes to that, because I will say we have those times when we have the natural reaction of the flesh, but you know, as you grow through the Spirit, you'll begin to learn how to redirect your mind and be like, you know what? I don't know what in the world I was just thinking about. Lord, please forgive me. Thank you for allowing me to be where I am right now. When you can humble yourself and be like, you know what? This flesh is not going to control me and make me murmur and make me complain. Not easy, but it's possible. It's doable. But I just want to read something that I wrote really quick. So the plan and the will of the Lord, it's not what we think. It's not always going to look like what we think. And we think that things are supposed to be easy, or it's supposed to be this pristine plan that everything is going to go the way that we think it's going to go, or, you know, perfectly step by step, or just because you have your ducks in a row that is how it's supposed to be. And sometimes it don't work like that. Sometimes I wanted to pull up a picture, and most high willing, I can like put a picture like right here or something of what I'm trying to say. But the plan of the Lord sometimes it's like up and then it's down, then it's up, then it's down, and then it's, you know, it's like it's nothing like what we think, because sometimes we think it's just supposed to be straight, you know, like just I'm walking, da, 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 like everything is just going to be straight, cut and dry. But no, things get shaken up. You get bumps, you get bruises. Sometimes you broken down, that you so low that the only thing you can do is trust in the Most High to have you built back up through the Spirit, you know, and have His Spirit poured within you so that you're strengthened. Because, you know, when you were weak, that's when you were actually, you know, the strongest, you know, through the Spirit. So don't think that everything is supposed to be pristine and, you know, cut and dry. You know, things are not going to look how you think. You know, you might be like, I don't, you know, this ain't working for me. I many times have had to just be like, you know what, bump that. Thank you, Lord, I got somewhere to live. Thank you, Lord, I have some food. Thank you, Lord, I got some shoes. Lord, thank you for providing for us. Thank you for allowing us to have a place to work. Thank you for being my protector. Thank you for allowing me to get to work safely. Thank you for allowing, you know, me to have some heat in my home. Thank you for allowing me to have some food, you know, and, you know, meanwhile, it may not be everything that I want it to be, but I'm thankful because this is what the Lord has provided, you know. So, yeah, but it's okay. We have to fully submit. And when we fully submit to what the will of the Lord for us is, y'all, it's a different kind of peace. I don't know if sisters know. I'm pretty sure it's some sisters that do know what I'm talking about. Y'all, it could be all hell breaking loose around you, and you could just be like, and just moving. Just going where you need to go, doing what you need to do, because the Lord is guiding you. It could be, somebody could tell you your whole house just burnt down, and you could just have a sense of peace, like, the Lord, okay, the Most High got us, we're gonna be okay. Even though it's just like, you know, you're still, like I said before, you're still gonna have those fleshly reactions like, oh my goodness, like, I can't believe the house just burnt down, or I can't believe, you know, my car is totaled, or, you know, I can't believe I might have just lost my job, or, but I know I'm gonna be okay. I know the Lord is going to allow me to, you know, to be okay. And it's easy to have these precepts, it's easy to, but it's when it's time to put it in play, that's what matters. You can study. You can read. But when it's time to put it in play, these are the things that we have to really think about. These are the things that we have to, think upon. How can I put these precepts in action? How can I, so that I don't get weary in well doing, that I can be content, that I can be okay, that I know that the Lord, He feeds the birds and He, waters the grass, and, all these animals, they have food to eat and things like that. And how much more will He take care of me, my household, my children, my mom, my dad, as long as we're striving to do what's well pleasing in His sight. It's a different kind of peace that the Lord equips you with when you trust in the will that He has for you. And I'm going to bring out that precept in Isaiah chapter 26. This is Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 3. It says, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusts in thee." You have to trust in the Most High. I always say, if you don't have any faith that you can do it, if you don't have any trust in yourself that you could be, that you're going to be okay, trust in the Most High. He's not a man that he should lie. Trust in the Most High. You can't get it done. Nobody else can get it done. The Most High is going to get it done when He sees fit. When it's His will. When it's your turn. May not be your turn right now. May not be in the plans for you right now. You might have some more things to develop. You might have some things to get rid of. And it's okay. It's all a learning lesson. But the main question is, have you submitted into the will that the Most High has for you? And if you haven't, that's why things might not be happening. Other than, the Most High's timing Himself. I had Sirach chapter 39 in verse 33. It says, "All the works of the Lord are good, and He will give every needful thing in due season, so that a man cannot say, this is worse than that. For in time they shall all be well approved. And therefore praise ye the Lord with the whole heart and mouth, and bless the name of the Lord." That's what you need to be doing. When the Lord closed this door, and when the Lord closed that door, and you're just in the hallway, praise Him in the hallway. Right there. Bust out a praise. Start singing. Start dancing. Put you some music on. Praise the Lord. Make up your own song. Do a little two-step. Do a little shoulder shimmy. Do what you gotta do. Praise the Most High. However you can. That's well pleasing to Him. And seek out those things. And sometimes you gotta distract yourself like that. To help those spirits flee and not be attached to you. Because we talked about this on the Help Me Sing Out. We attach these spirits to ourselves, talking about, I got anxiety, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm. No, you are not. The spirit of anxiety is trying to attach itself to me. Lord, please don't allow this spirit to attach itself to me. Lord, the spirit of weary is trying to get me not to trust in you. Lord, this spirit of X, Y, and Z. You got to get rid of those spirits, eradicate them quick, fast, in a hurry, and continue trusting in the will that the Most High has for your life. Because Satan don't want you to have no peace. He don't want you to trust in the will of the Lord. He wants you to be weary and not trusting in the Most High. You want to be able to, in the middle of that storm, like, just imagine a whole storm around you. Like, literally around you. And you just have peace. It's attainable. Thing after thing after thing after thing in your life is going on. It's a storm. The Lord is the one who is allowing all these things around you to happen. You have to have peace and call on him. He's the one that can take these things away. Think about, I think it's Song of the Three Holy Children, how they were in the fiery furnace. And what did they start doing? Praising the Lord. Praising the Lord. I know we always talk about Maccabees, 2 Maccabees chapter 7, the mother and the 7 sons. They called upon the Lord. We have these accounts for reasons that we can study them now. Later, we might not have these accounts. We have to make sure that, we have these things in remembrance so that, like I said, when it's time in that moment to actually put these things into work and into plans, that we can do that. And that we're not being consumed by the Spirit. So, most high willing, this was thought-provoking, and sisters can take these points and kind of examine themselves. I had one more precept. Actually, I have 2 more precepts, and then that'll be it. But most high willing, like I said, this was thought-provoking. This is going to be Sirach chapter 37 and 27. It says, "My son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it." So you have to prove your soul. Prove your soul. Prove to see, am I looking back at my old ways? Do I need to, if you need to clean your Snapchat so you're not looking back. If you need to block certain things on social media because those are the people that you used to interact with, and you feel like, oh, well, I'm missing out and things like that, block them. If you feel like you need to take a hiatus from, certain things or certain people or certain social groups, or take a hiatus. It may not be in alignment with where the Most High is trying to take you. You might have to pray to the Most High, Lord, please help me remove those things that are not in alignment with your will for me. There's nothing wrong with praying that. Lord, what are the things that are keeping me far away from you and your will for me? These are different things that I add in my prayers that, and when it start happening, I also say pray to be prepared, because it might shock you, it might surprise you, it might be like, dang, I never thought that X, Y, and Z was going to happen. I never thought that, this was stopping me or blocking me from the will that the Most High had for my life. I thought I was doing it, because we think we doing everything right. We think we doing the best that we can do. Moving how we think we should and things like that. But the Lord, when you ask these things, He'll reveal them to you. You just got to be ready and be obedient when it's time to do it. Not hesitant, not ready to run away like Jonah. Not scared and questioning like Moses. But it's okay. Being strong and through the Spirit, and, being okay and being fearless, because you trust in the Most High. And then the last precept I had, you know yourself. You know what you struggle with. You know what you need to work on. You know whether you truly have submitted and fully submitted to the will that the Most High has for you. This is 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. It says, examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? How that Hamashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. And I know that's going into something a little bit different, but I still like the beginning of that precept, of examining ourselves. Like, are we in the faith? Am I truly executing faith and works together? Hebrews chapter 11. Am I truly taking these things with cheer, joyfulness? Or am I just saying that I'm doing these things? And like I said, these things come with time, learning how to execute, growing and walking in your journey. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. I love sisters. Continue to stay strong through the spirit. Continue staying uplifted. Use your fruits, your gifts, your talents, and truly submit to the will that the Most High has for your life. Love y'all. Stay encouraged through the spirit. Check in on one another. And like I said, I've been listening to Monastery Radio. Please go tap into that channel on YouTube and listen to them and support their platform. I love y'all. Shalom. And I wanted to add, if sisters are struggling with knowing what the will of the Most High is for them in this very moment, pray unto Him, and He shall reveal whatever it is that you need to know right now.
You're my
She real sister.
I love you, sister.